Thanks for tuning into the Finance News Network. I'm Jessica Amir. Joining me today from Junior Explorer Latin Resources is Managing Director Chris Gale and Exploration Manager Argentina Sam Moyle. Chris, thanks for joining us over the phone in Perth, and Sam, thanks for joining us from Argentina.
Hi Jessica, glad to be here.
Thanks Jessica, nice to be here.
Chris, to you first. Latin Resources has several lithium projects in Argentina. What can you tell us at the minute?
We now have, I would suggest, secured the best hard rock lithium pegmatite property on Concessions in Argentina, over 200,000 hectares in the province of Catamarca in St. Louis. So in saying that, our recent appointment of Sam was a senior geologist at Pilbara Minerals, is a great coup for Latin Resources. Here we have a guy that's extremely experienced and grown a resource for Pilbara from 0 to 200 million tonnes. So Sam's objective and major focus is to go and develop our projects and basically secure and identify and develop the first maiden JORC resource for Latin Resources.
Now to you, Sam, can you give us an update on your lithium projects, starting with the Catamarca Lithium project?
Yeah, thanks Jess. Well, I've had a chance to visit for the first time all the Latin Resources tenements over the last 4 weeks, which includes the 700 square kilometres of land in both Ancasti and Villesman regions of Catamarca. The scale of the pegmatite swarms in the northern Ancasti region is simply remarkable, and these swarms remain largely unexplored. So identifying a large lithium mineralised pegmatite here will be the objective and will be a significant discovery for the Latin Resources team. So we'll be focusing on improving our understanding of this area in the coming months with probably some detailed mapping and sampling programs. Now, unlike the untouched Ancasti region, the pegmatites around Villesman have been extensively mined in the early century for numerous minerals, including the lithium-bearing spodumene. Evidence of the spodumene mining is actually scattered throughout the region and, importantly, centralised within the Latin tenure. So we're currently looking at options to drill several of these walk-up spodumene targets, hopefully before the end of the year.
And what can you tell us about the San Luis lithium concessions, Sam?
Yeah, well, the San Luis tenements, once permitted, are going to be a really exciting exploration target for the company. We're currently focused on the flagship Heminus prospect, which is a large-scale, shallow-dipping spodumene-bearing pegmatite, tabular to lenticular in shape, approximately 20 to 30 metres thick, that outcrops continuously, we think, for about 300 metres on both sides of a large valley. The historical mining activity here is focused on the Cantera Grand adit that contains some pretty amazing spodumene crystals up to about 4 metres in length. So we're pretty excited to get in there and drill out what we think is going to be a really great lithium resource. We also have the Maria del Huerta pegmatite group that we'll also look to drill before the end of the year. We believe several pegmatites are clustered together here, which would be really favourable to the economics of Maria. It's also been the site of historical spodumene mining, so we really know we're in a great area. It's an exciting time for the team in San Luis, and I'm really happy to be part of it.
And when do you think permitting will be approved, and when will drilling start in Argentina?
Our shareholders have been very patient. Catamarca has been a wonderful province to work in. Our permitting for drilling has been submitted. We expect those permits to be granted for drilling on Sam's targets within the next 4 to 5 weeks. In St. Louis, the province has been a little bit different. We've spent a lot of time now with the local mines department in St. Louis, educating them and talking about the lithium sector. I'm confident after meeting 2 weeks ago with the new mining secretary that we should have our permits approved and some drill permits approved within the next 4 to 5 weeks. If that occurs, we will commence drilling in St. Louis first before Catamarca. If it doesn't, we'll start drilling Catamarca. So drilling, I can comfortably say, will start within the next 8 weeks. And once again, as Sam has reiterated, we have some exciting targets to actually drill.
And Chris, you have a lithium carbonate pilot plant. How is the testing performing?
The pilot plant in Mendoza University, I was there 2 weeks ago. That's gone through the first stage of processing our spodumene into a lithium carbonate. The first stage has gone quite well. We're expecting results from that any day now. Once that first stage is completed, they will then run the second stage of the testing, remembering it's only a pilot plant, but all looks quite positive at this point. This pilot plant is being designed and built to see if we can produce a lithium carbonate from spodumene on a small scale. If that is successful, we'll then move to the next stage and build a lot larger pilot plant. But period of time, it's probably, hopefully before Christmas we might have the final results, but it's all going well for now.
And to finances now, Chris, can you give us an update, including your agreements with Lind Partners?
Yeah, that's the other aspect that I think has been a great achievement for the company. As you probably, a lot of people have noticed that the market sentiment has come off quite significantly for a lot of mining companies. Lind Partners out of New York have been great in respect that we have worked with Lind before. They approached us about funding the company. Rather go out and do a very dilutive placement, we decided to do a deal with Lind. They've offered us a $6 million facility. We've drawn down $2 million that facility, which will help Sam in his program of permitting and drilling, the first stage scout drilling. And then we can draw down a further $1 million if required, and then a further $3 million if we move into heavier drilling to get our resource. So I think it's a great opportunity for the company now that we're fully funded to do what we want to do, and that is to get into the drilling side of things and produce that maiden JORC resource. So every box is ticked for us, apart, of course, from getting the permits to drill. That is our number one objective over the coming weeks, and we've been working very hard on that for now over 12 months. So we're nearly at the business end of the season.
And last question to you both. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, just that the team's done incredibly well to secure this portfolio of tenure over the last few years, which includes a really dominant holding of lithium-rich Pampian pegmatite province in San Luis, and also the Ancaster and Villersman swarms in Catamarca. So we've got our work cut out for us going forward, and the exploration team will be looking at exploring these exciting new pegmatite swarms in the coming months, and also focus on drilling these historical spodumene mines both in San Luis and Catamarca.
Oh, look, I'm the only thing I will add is that our shareholders, in particular our top 10 shareholders, have been incredibly patient during this process. It's taken a long time to get to where we are now. We had a value, what's great to hear is someone like Sam coming from the Pilbara being quite amazed at what sort of ground we hold, what sort of pegmatites we actually have secured. That's very exciting for myself and our directors. We know that, talk is cheap. Action is what we've got to now move into, and hopefully the permitting being granted over, as I said, in the next few weeks, we can get in there, drill the projects, and prove to our shareholders that we've got a lot more value than what they've seen to date.
Chris Gale, Sam Moyle, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.